Welcome, everybody. My name is Nick, and I'm here with Justin, otherwise known as the boss at the Gaming Verse. And we're here with episode 1 of a new series that we're planning on doing that shines a little bit of a spotlight on what we refer to as community brews here at the Gaming Verse, and of course, using Magic the Gathering Arena. Justin and I have both been playing Magic for a very, very long time since we were children. God, must be 20 plus years now or something.
Yep, I started with 7th edition.
Yeah, I started with Ice Age Mirage around about that time, so similar. And I've been out of Magic for a couple of years, so I'm very up to date with the new set, but like I have lost all of Standard. So this is an interesting experiment because Justin has stayed on top of all of this, and I'm a little bit out of it. As you see both of us in the store on and off, and I want to learn more about Magic. So Justin's going to teach me a little bit more about this while we explore some of the awesome community brews that have been brought to us. In each episode, we're just going to focus on one. We're going to play around with it for about an hour or so and see where we go, I guess. So what do we have today?
Today, I've brought Naya Auras. So this is a little bit of a budget deck. It's essentially built around putting auras on your creatures. We've jumped into green, mostly for Cetessan Champion, which in this deck gets very big very quickly. And we've brought red along for Showdown of the Skulls, which can just draw a lot of cards and pop +1/+1 counters on all the things. So the engine of this deck really are the new runes from the new runes here, each of which draws a card when you play it. And so these cards here, you got 4 Rune of Might, which gives you +1/+1 in Trample, 3 Rune of Speeds, which gives you +1/+0 in Haste, and 2 Rune of Sustenance, which gives you Lifelink. And as long as they resolve, none of these cost you a card. So we need some good targets for them. We've brought in Seasoned Hallowblade, which we can discard to give Indestructible. We've got Luminarch Aspirant, which if we don't have auras, allows us to pump our creatures anyway. The aforementioned Cetessan Champion, which gets bigger every time we play an enchantment. It's quite good. And our Runeforged Champion, which allows us to search for one of our runes, makes our runes cheaper.
I'm really happy you found a use for Runeforged Champion because I swear I got 4 of these in foil on the pre-release weekend and threw them in a box.
Yeah.
So if you've been able to find a use for the Runeforged Champion, I'm super happy with that.
Well, I've actually been quite pleased with it in this this deck. I wasn't expecting to play a deck that actually ran 4 of them, but here we are. And then we've got a little surprise package in our 2 Storm Heralds. Now, this card has most commonly been used in combo decks to put a giant +20/+20 aura onto him and then fling him at your opponent. But in this deck, he actually provides us with quite a bit of card advantage. Now, the downside of him is that the auras get exiled at the end of turn. But more often than not, in this deck, we're bringing back our runes. Now, the runes trigger upon entering the battlefield.
Drawing your cards.
Exactly. So essentially, if we have, say, 3 runes in the graveyard, we play our Storm's Herald, we draw 3 cards off him. So in the later game, he's a great card advantage engine.
And he doesn't appear like he's the worst card anyway. Like, he's a 3-cost 3/2 with haste, so at least he hits. Like,
Exactly,
he's
yeah.
not the world's worst body I've seen on a card.
Oh, look, and haste can be really decisive, especially if your opponent slams down a Nugan. Sometimes getting a hasty creature down just to finish it off can be the difference between winning and losing.
It's my first time ever seeing this card, actually, so...
Yeah. Well, he hasn't seen a lot of competitive play outside of Johnny kind of Brews. But, yeah, in this deck, I've been quite pleased. Only 2 of, because he's not something you really want early on. He's really there just to kind of refill your hand or give you a kind of push through the last points of damage late in the game. And then just to round out the deck, we've got 2 All That Glitters.
What's the deal with this puppy over here? What's this?
The puppy, well, I mean, Selfless Savior is just all-round good card. For 1 mana, it's 1/1, sack him, gives target creature you control indestructible.
Does this one have like a nickname? Did everyone refer to him as like Doggo or Papa or something?
Not that I know of. He's just Selfless Savior. I mean, there might be a nickname out there, and I'm sure you're welcome to give him one, but he's really, really good. Just you drop him turn 1 into a turn 2 Luminarch Aspirant, and now your opponent's staring down having to waste 2 removal spells to deal with your Aspirant. Or even better, if they're relying on a Wrath, well, your best creature's going to survive that Wrath.
Oh, I don't enjoy sacrificing the dog, though. I feel the dog is going to die in this broadcast tonight. I'm just warning you.
Yep. And then for lands, because we are running 3 colors, we've got a full play set of our 3 different pathways. We've got 4 Fabled Passages, And then we've got a 3-2-1 split of our basics. We've got 3 plains, 2 mountains, and 1 forest. The 1 forest is because we don't need more than 1 green to cast any of our green spells. And the 2 mountains because we do have the Shadow Skull Smashing, which is our only removal in the deck. More often than not, we're relying on pressuring the opponent rather than controlling the board. Mm-hmm. But in a pinch, we do have the Shadow Skull Smashing, which we can use to clear away some blockers or some pesky utility creatures. Mm-hmm. And then 3 plains because we really want to have a white source turn 1 for our Selfless Savior and our numerous 2-drop creatures.
And you've got the double red on the Shadow Skull Smashing as well.
So. Yeah, we do. But I mean, in a pinch, this can always be played as a land. So
easy.
Yeah, so look, if we don't get that second red source, we can just drop the Shadow Skull Smashing instead.
Okay, so what format are we going to be playing?
So we're going to be playing best of 1 standard. Yep. As you can see over here, we don't actually have a sideboard. We're going to be playing some best of 1 games, and at the end, we'll have a bit of a chat on what we think we could add to the sideboard to give it a better matchup against some of our losses.
Oh boy, I'm going to tell you things that I think we should have, and you can tell me if these cards exist, because I'm still unfamiliar with this format.
So. Yep, fair enough. All right, well, unless there's anything else you want to add, we can get underway.
I'm good.
All right.
Okay, so these are all your different decks.
These are all my different decks. Yep, been doing a bit of brewing, so just add the Naya Auras, and let's go.
Okay, so I think, do you instantly get into a queue in Arena these days?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
5 seconds.
Well, they've actually changed it now so the cancel button disappears when you've been matched up, but when it's still waiting for the opponent. So gone are the days of you spamming cancel and nothing actually happening.
Sonata Arctica is our opponent.
Yep.
It's actually a metal band, Sonata Arctica.
Oh. No, it fits because we've got the Kaladesh background here.
So we have all the mana we need.
Yeah, we've got our green, our white, our red. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any 1 or 2 drops. So this hand is a little bit slow. We could throw it away and hope for an earlier drop, but as it is right now, we can play out Runeforged Champion. If we do hit a creature, we've got a bit of card advantage here, a bit of digging. So we can keep and just hope our opponent's not playing too aggressively.
Sure.
All right.
Politely saying hello to your opponent.
Of course.
Hey, they said hello back.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Points.
All right, well, we hit our 4th land. Otherwise, I probably would have played the Fable Passage turn 1. So let's just throw down... we don't need 2 green sources. So let's just throw down one of these reds and hope that they don't overrun us with Ginger Brutes.
What on earth deck is this?
So this looks like it's mono white auras. Ginger Brute has the advantage. You can pay 1, and he can't be blocked.
What is this?
Except by creatures with haste.
What is this? Just an entire army of gingerbread men?
Yep.
Okay, I haven't seen this before. This is...
Alright. A nice little trick here is this is actually enchant permanent. Now, it only really does something if you put it on a creature or a equipment, but you can actually enchant one of your lands if you just need to draw a card. As it is right now, I don't think we need to. Let's just pass
What if we get beaten to death by gingerbread men?
We might. The nice thing is that if we actually pop this Rune of Speed on our creatures, they can no longer make them unblockable.
Please tell me he's playing an entire ginger-themed deck.
No, it's life gain. But the Daxos, so this is probably a Heliod deck. So let's just throw down the green.
Daxos blessed by the sun.
Get down the Setestan Champion. Next turn, we'll start drawing some cards.
Okay, so what exactly does this Setestan Champion do?
Setestan Champion, so whenever an enchantment is the battlefield under our control, +1/+1 counter, and we draw a card.
Oh, easy.
Yep. Now, I mean, we could block the Ginger Brute, but I feel like they wouldn't be attacking unless they had a trick in hand.
Would they really be scared about losing a single 1/1?
Well, the thing is, we don't want to lose our Setestan Champion and taking 1 extra damage, I don't think.
But it's going to cost them their turn to do that too.
It is, but this is going to draw us so many cards, so I think we just pass here. Because at the end of the day, look, if that 1 damage is the difference between us winning or losing, I'll eat my hat. But right now, I think... Okay.
That's an interesting card.
That is an interesting card. Not expecting that. All right, well, let's just crack the land.
The old constructed powerhouse, the man Serval.
All right, and let's go for another Let's go for another white
I mean,
source.
is it a horned turtle? Just it's like a horned turtle but cheaper. Or
Yeah. Well, now we could either play 2 auras, or we can drop our Runeforge champion and then play 1 aura for 1, which I think is fine here because
get to search for an aura too.
we get to search for an aura exactly.
And we probably want to. He said good game.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he hasn't drawn what he needed. Let's go. And I actually think we're going to grab the room and speed because we actually want haste on all our creatures so we can start blocking the ginger brutes. As it is right now, I actually think we've got lifelink on
Can
here.
ginger brutes only be blocked by creatures with haste?
Only if you pay 1 mana for them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's so fast. The little gingerbread are just incredibly fast.
They are.
I don't know if I've ever researched how fast a gingerbread man is.
And you can eat them for 3 life.
Oh, this is everything I want from a magic card.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed a lot with this. This Eldraine set looked like it was just dripping with flavor.
Eldraine was dripping with a lot of flavor. All right. Let's have a look here. So we want to avoid. They think they've got us.
We're taking 8 damage right now.
No, we're not taking 8 because we're blocking, and this will gain us 2.
Okay.
And we gain 2. That's the thing about lifelink. All right. So now, yeah, there's the oops. Opponent thought he had us because he didn't take into account the lifelink.
What about the life lane?
Yep.
Oh, and now he's just gonna get real chunky.
Yep. All right. Let's throw that on him.
We're drawing a few cards, Justin. Just a couple.
Just a few. Yeah,
Yeah.
filling up our hand a bit. Now the question is here, how much bigger is this ginger brute going to become? Because we can just keep pumping this Citizen Champion up, or we could throw out another blocker. Probably.
I think you just make the lifelink guy as big as possible.
That's
right?
what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's just keep piling it on him. Oh, and another rune of speed. Yeah.
Yeah, just I reckon the more life you can get, I think the better at this stage. If he has removal, I think you are going all in, but you still haven't played the land though, right?
No, still haven't played the land. So let's go this. I think we hold black on blockers because we're not going to kill him this turn.
You're not going to put another. We don't have anything else we can put down, no.
No, unfortunately not. We're going to have to discard a couple of cards.
Discard 4 cards.
1, 2,
Bit of card advantage.
3, and we've got the showdown, so it's only going to get worse for them. Let's just dump one of these Luminarch Aspirants. See if they can deal with our 9/9 hasty lifelinker.
Is what we refer
Right,
to.
that's what we're worrying about, the double all that glitters. Fortunately, we do have the Runeforge champion, which can chump block here.
We can double block, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do we just chump or do we double block?
Well,
chump
we
block,
will
right?
lose our Citizen champion, but they'll lose their ginger brute. So I think we double block and then just rebuild because we do have another Runeforge champion, another Citizen.
I mean, if you can do that in enough.
Well, it's going to gain us 9 life.
Sure. And you can only kill one of them anyway, so
Exactly.
we keep the Runeforge, right?
Yep.
Theoretically. He's oopsing again.
Oopsing again. Yeah, I think he forgot that I'd put the Rune of Speed onto the Runeforge champion. Alright, gets us back up to 11, which is nice.
I think my opponent typing the word oops is probably one of my favorite things. Well, I don't even type it, do they? Just click it in this game.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun. A little, Oh, and we got the Storm Herald, which we don't really need at the moment. Right now, it's going to get us 1, 2... It's going to draw us 4 cards when we pull that trigger.
But it also gives us the lifelink.
It does, but the thing is, I'll show you a little nice little trick. For the moment, I think...
We really want to do that?
The Showdown.
Yeah.
Well, the Showdown next turn, every spell we cast will allow us to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control.
I guess we're kind of safe right now, so it's probably the right turn to do it.
Yeah, exactly. My thinking, and then we can just set up, we can drop the Showdown. See what we pull, hopefully a 2-drop. Or
Rune's
another.
fine, I guess.
I think we just dropped the Seasoned Hellblade.
Sure.
Some nice blockers here. Hopefully they're not going to have a third all that glitters. And we're set up for a really big turn next turn.
I'm still very, very concerned.
Confused?
I'm probably concerned and confused about the man serval.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's just because it's a big-butted vigilance creature.
But surely there's... Oh, is it the vigilance part?
Probably, yeah.
Because there's other 2-cost 1/4s, right? Surely.
Yeah, I believe so. But I think the vigilance is what they're going for here.
Okay.
I think we just take 2. We're on 11.
I'm glad that we're testing against the highest tier of opponents' decks here. I guess we're seeing 2 brews at the same time.
Yep.
Two community brews. We'll have to contact Sonata Arctica about next week, I think. Bring in the gingerbread man serval tech, I think.
All right. Let's have our big turn. Now the question is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could just go Storm Herald and Showdown and set up for and draw some more cards. Otherwise, we're losing the Showdown. As it is right now, though, we're not really.
Yeah, I think so. I think we go Showdown again, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not under threat right now.
No, not at all. Actually, probably don't even bother with the Storm Herald this turn, because then we'll lose the Rune of Might anyway. So we can just get the Seasoned Hellblade nice and big. Alright. For this, this is only going to cost us 1. And giving him Tramp is quite nice. We can start actually pressuring. Just keep going.
So where did you get the idea for this brew from? Did you take it from anywhere? Is this from...
Yeah, well, I mean, I opened 4 Runeforged Champions very early on and so wanted to do something with them.
I swear they printed more Runeforged Champions than any other card in the set.
Yep.
It's just entire sheets of it. They just somehow snuck it into the pre-release stock.
But I couldn't get it to work, and then I saw, oh, this might be our opponent giving up. Yep.
Oh.
There he goes. But yeah, I actually...
Farewell.
I saw some other people, I hadn't thought about combining it with Showdown. But then I saw another deck doing it, and I thought, that's a good idea. And decided to give it a go myself, and I've actually been quite happy with the way it's worked.
Well, we've killed a rune serval or whatever, so I'm happy about that.
Yep. All right, on to the next. You can see just how many cards this deck's capable of drawing. Like it's easy.
A lot of cards.
It is. Like it's very easy to go from having 1 or 2 cards in hand to having to discard at end of turn.
Twilight Star.
Maybe a My Little Pony fan?
It sounds like a My Little Pony.
Yeah.
I think a Twilight Sparkle is the My Little Pony.
Yeah. Now this is tough. We've got 2 lands. We do have the 1 drop. We can put the All-Like Glitters on the Selfless Savior. I don't think that's very good. We don't have the green for the Cetessan Champion. And we don't really have... we don't want this until later, so... I think we potentially just throw this back. I mean, we could just play the Cetessan...
What if you get 1 more land, though? Like, doesn't this become good?
And we could have always put the Rune of Speed onto the Selfless Savior.
I think this is fine. You get you're cycling turn 2 with the Rune of Speed.
Yeah. Let's give it a go. And if this does die, we can then play the Storm's Herald and draw another card.
Yep. I think you're fine.
All right. We are going to have to take 3 from the Shatterskull Hammer Pass.
Oh, someone like Twilight Star doesn't sound very aggressive. They sound like they play a control deck.
Give them the hello.
They've got Tameo as a picture.
Yep.
Right? Like, you don't play mono red.
Well, I mean, I am playing. I've got Khan here, and we are playing aggro. So.
Yeah. Well, Khan's a lot more. Oh, see, planes. Told you. Not very. What? Oh, what is that?
All right. Well,
Will teach me for making assumptions.
Let's just do the thing. If they block, I'm not unhappy. And we did get the land. That's what we wanted because this is
I
quite
don't
annoying.
think you even bother attacking.
Yeah. Because I actually don't mind them trading here, because this thing can be hard to deal with later on, and they're going to be wanting to get rid of our Selfless Savior. But we've got a second one in reserve. So, and now that's in the graveyard. So if I Storm Herald, I get to draw a card. So going to Cetessan Champion into Storm Herald actually draw us 2 cards. Ooh, it looks like we're in a bit of a mirror here.
What's a Transcendent Envoy?
So that one actually makes all your auras cost 1 less. And it's a card that I did consider for this deck.
But you chose the Hollow Blade instead?
No, I chose the Luminarch Aspirant because I think the constant stream of +1/+1 counters is just too good to pass up.
Okay.
This does trigger Setessan Champion and does make your auras cost less, but all my auras cost 2, so only one of them is really relevant. The second one, not so much. But yeah, it looks like we're in a bit of a mirror here.
I didn't expect to put that in the video description where we brew something and then fight mirror matches.
Yep. Now they've got the combo and they're just chaining off because this makes them cost 1 and this makes them cost 0. So they're basically just chaining off now.
Do we have any removal?
Just the Shell Skull smashing.
I don't think that's gonna do much against a.
No, but I mean they've only got 7 powers here, and we're not in a terrible position because, as I said, in Storm's Herald.
How are we not in a terrible position? I'm confused.
Because we can draw 2 cards here. Throw down ourselves a savior, and for this instance, it's going to get a little bit smaller. So we've still got a handful of cards. We've got the Rune of Speed. We've got the all like glitters. If they don't draw any more auras, which they didn't, because otherwise they would have kept playing them.
All right, I trust you. The preemptive good game from Twilight Star.
Oh, yeah, they drew another one. You've just been very lucky with their pile of runes. Drawing 5 runes. There we go. And all like glitters.
Now they may do the G.
Yes.
I feel the G has definitely been G.
Yeah, the Transcendent Envoy is a very strong combination with the Runeforged Champion, but the problem is if you don't get both these cards together with a stream of runes, then this is a 1/2 flyer.
The Envoy seems very strong, though.
It does, but it's very strong as long as you have the correct other cards in play. The Luminarch Aspirant is just a good creature by itself.
Well, why don't you replace the Invincible guy? Like
because that Indestructible, I've had opponents scoop on turn 3 when I've gone Indestructible into Luminarch Aspirant and they've just got no way of dealing with it.
Okay.
So look, that version of the deck has more explosive and more powerful turns. This version I've built to be more consistent.
That one's more fragile, though?
It is more fragile because, like I said, if you just draw the birds, they're 1/2 flyers. They're not going to put really real pressure on unless you draw the Runeforged Champion to go with them. All right, we're on the play. We've got a 1-drop and a 3-drop, and we've got the Showdown and the lands to cast it. So I think we keep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what we're up against now.
Good old pupper. I see you've got another pupper as well.
Yeah, the little Sparkhound. He's infamous for annoying players because of his constant crackling. Hey, we got the hello.
I noticed he runs around when you win and stuff too.
Yeah. I see this actually code's been quite nice because we've got the Hello Blade now. Let's.
Did you call it a Hello Blade? Oh, it is a Hello Blade.
Seasoned Hello Blade.
I was like, hello, Frank Walker. Little joke for the Australians out there.
Yep. See now we can, if Runeforged Champion, grab the green rune, give him trample, and having a tramply attacker 4/2 with trample so we can make indestructible is very hard for them to deal with.
But once again, wouldn't it be better for you to have had the flying dude on turn 2 then?
No, because this guy's got 3 power, whereas the flying dude's got is a 1/2. Like I said, we've got the Runeforged Champions, they synergize quite well, but without the Runeforged Champion, he's just a 1/2 flyer in this situation. This guy's actually able to put pressure on without having to play the Runeforged Champion. All right, let's just get all our colors out. Going attacking. See, we've got them down to 15 now, whereas they would have only been down to, I guess you
would have played the champion now, you would have been able to go off, yeah.
Well, it depends because we've only got 1 rune. So it would have been dependent on that. Would have we would have been attacking for 3 versus 4. But like I said, it's very dependent on getting the Runeforged Champion.
Yeah, it's gonna eat your realms.
Yeah, but only if our stuff dies. So now we've got an interesting conundrum. Do we go the showdown, set up for a big next turn, or do we play the Rune of Might and hope that we draw something
I
good?
don't feel like we're under any threat now, so I feel like we should always showdown when we're...
The only thing is, if we do wait until next turn to showdown, we'll be able to play a land off the showdown the turn we play it.
My cat's attacking me down here.
So yeah, so if we play the showdown next turn, we'll be able to play... If we draw a land, we'll be able to play that land immediately. So if we get 2 lands off it, we can play them both. That's the one advantage.
Up to you.
Well, look, let's just be aggressive. This also gives us the option, if we draw another land, of going the smashing. So, yeah, look, we can potentially get the smashing next turn. So let's just go the showdown. We've got 2 lands. All right, throw that in.
You may play those cards, which means you can play multiple lands in one turn?
No. It's still
Okay.
only 1 per turn.
So still only 1, so it doesn't break that rule.
Yep.
Hey, we're in the studio here, and my cat is attacking our legs.
Oh, he's going the trade. All right. Well, in which case, I think we just dump the smashing because you don't need that anymore.
Yep.
And the nice thing is, if they've got a board wipe, unless they've got an extinction event, but even with the extinction event, they've either got to get rid of the Seasoned Hallowed Blade, which is 1 for 1, or get rid of the Runeforged Champion Selfless Savior, in which case we get to keep the Seasoned Hallowed Blade.
You better give my cat attention, otherwise it's going to
yeah, I'm
scratch
used to
you
this.
the entire time.
Used to this from my cat at home.
We need a cat cam. All right, what do we?
We're waiting on our opponent to try to decide what they're going to do. Oh, he's going for the ramp.
Haven.
Yeah, it allows your land to tap for an additional green and feed the swarm, which I think we save. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've sacrificed your doggo.
1 dog has been murdered so far on this
Yeah,
recording.
to save the Runeforged Champion.
That's all right. We're actually surrounded by cats. There's a cat behind here. There's a cat on the floor. So apparently we're a pro cat podcast here. Not so much a pro dog one.
All right, now
I guess it's more of a vodcast, isn't it?
let's we've only got, unfortunately, we've only got 1. Oh no, we've got 2 white sources. Let's drop this for white. Let's. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Let's see what we get off of this. Storm's Herald. That's fine. Don't need that just the moment. But then we can drop the aspirant. Let's share these around a bit just in case we do have. Oh, and there's the concession. As you can see, this deck can just drop a lot of power on the table really quickly.
I've seen a lot of concessions coming from this.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, even if they had an extinction event, which is the only board wipe they could have in these colors. Oh, I guess they could have the 5 mana one that exiles all creatures with convert mana cost 3 or less, and that would actually get us. But I'm guessing they didn't have that, otherwise they wouldn't have conceded. But the fact that we've gone so wide now, if they've just got 1 for 1 removal, it's not going to get them anywhere. And unbeknownst to them, we do actually have the Storm Herald, so even if they manage to deal with our entire board, we're probably going to knock them down to a low enough life that the Storm Herald will just finish them off next turn.
I really like the addition of the Storm Herald.
Yeah, he's good. Like I said, you don't want him early on, but he can just win games out of nowhere.
A little bit of extra spice, I think.
Yep. All right, let's go on to another. So, 1 more, or do you think we've got time for 2?
Well, it depends how long you want to make these. Like, we're at half an hour now. What do you want to...
All right, let's see how long this game is. We need some time to talk about our sideboard tech at the end.
Oh, well, you want 15 minutes for that, so I would say. So
1 to 2 more.
How long do you want this show to be, I guess, is the question.
I think an hour is a good good run time.
We're at the half an hour point now, so you could do 1 or 2 more.
All right, see how this goes. Long and grindy, or
this is I might even upload this as like episode 0.
Yep.
As opposed to 1 as like a trial, I guess.
So yeah, so this unfortunately we haven't seen any real meta decks yet, and that's probably because we're not in the ranked queue. But so far, you can see the power of the deck. The
Mm.
only loss we've had is to the mirror. Yeah. We're on the play. We've got no 2-drops. So we're going to be relying on hitting a land in our top 2 cards. I think it's a bit too big of a risk. What do you think? I guess we can always Runeforge, like Rune of Might, one of our lands in order if we don't draw anything.
Runeforge Champion's also going to grab something. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it dies after that. The Herald can bring us back a
Yeah.
card.
Well, we can, like I said, we can pop down one of our lands just to cycle it.
Yeah,
so
I'm not too worried.
All right. Well, let's give it a go. I'll hold you accountable.
I mean, sure. So Rune of Might actually has enchant.
Permanent. Because you can enchant a
Oh, the equipment. Yeah.
enchant equipment, and it gives the equipment the ability. Got another hello back.
Thought that was the that was the flavor of the pre-release. I remember that. Because there's that rune. It's like an artifact. So it's like an uncommon artifact, right? That you could summon the rune. There was a rune artifact.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Forget what the name of it is.
Yep. No, yeah, me too. But I know the one you're speaking of. For the moment, I think we just dump the all like glitters. We've got the Storm's Herald, which combos well with this, and it's the only card in our deck that's not giving us any card advantage. So I think that goes.
Looks good to me.
Yep. All right. So we hit the land. Unfortunately, it comes into play tapped. But fortunately, our opponent's not playing too aggressively. So I think we just pass here. And if we draw a 4th land, we'll play the Runeforge, because then we can immediately enchant it. If we don't, we'll play the Setessi Champion and set up the next turn. Oh, I guess we'll play whichever one our opponent doesn't discard.
Can't touch the showdown though.
I can. It's 3 or greater.
3 or greater?
So they can't discard the Rune of Speed. Yeah, this one's also can be a land. So, yep, Setessi Champion's gone, which we're not too worried about. Because we do have card advantage in the Runeforge Champion and Showdowns. Looks like they're playing a discard deck, which, as long as we draw a 4th land, we're not in a bad shape to take on. So we need our red sword. Unfortunately, no.
Okay, we just.
Yeah.
Well, we could also just play the Herald first.
No, but there's nothing in the graveyard.
Oh, no cards to draw. Okay.
No. All right, so let's just go and grab the Rune of Might. Look, if they don't kill the Runeforge, we get to draw 2 cards. If they do kill the Runeforge, hopefully we'll finally hit our 4th land. There it goes. And this is also a problem. We don't want to be letting our runes get into the graveyard until after this is finished.
So here's where we just repeat this again with the champion. And cross our fingers and our toes and our eyes. Everything.
Yep. Unfortunately, we're going to lose a showdown. Oh, they might take a rune, actually, because we do have 2 showdowns. But no, showdown.
Or do they want to take what gives us the card advantage, I assume?
Well,
so
these also give us card advantage because this draws 2 with the Setessan. Heartless Act. Unfortunately, if we'd been able to play 1 enchantment, it would have been fine. So now I think we actually do drop a rune because then we can at least draw a card off the Storm Herald next turn with it. So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get rid of the green one, yep.
Yep. Yep. Still not hitting those lands. So hopefully this one's the best land we need. Alright. Might as well. They're both going to get lost to this. So we might as well get in for some damage. There's that land.
It's not the one we wanted.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Because we don't have anything else that costs 1. But we can get in for some damage. We still are left with a 3.
So the Acquisitions Expert gives us those cards back?
No, it's just discard.
Okay.
Yeah. Lost our graveyard, but it doesn't matter because we got what we needed out of it anyway. Because those get exiled, so they'll go on regardless. Alright, now they've gone this Timorite. So this isn't too bad because we can just go grab a... Oh, and there's a Rune of Sustenance. So this is really not too bad because we've got the Rune of Speed. We've actually got a couple of options here. Let's go and grab another Rune of Might. And let's get this Storm Herald out of blocking range of the 2/2. Set up for a showdown. If we'd drawn another land there, I would have given this haste and attacked in with both. But as it is, this has got trample, so if they do chump block, they're still taking 2.
The dog keeps chasing his tail. It's very distracting.
Yeah.
I think that might be part of the advantage of having that pet. Maybe you might get the slight edge of people being distracted by the doggo.
Yep. And the constant crackling. Look at him.
What happens if you click on him?
There you go.
Did you click on his ball? Oh! He's off!
He's off. Oh, and there goes our Runeforge
Can you do anything to his bone?
Oh, you can. I'll show you in a moment. Because right now we just got to make a decision.
No, this is far more important.
I think we go the Halo Blade and give it or do we want to just go for the showdown and set up? I think we go for the showdown. We need the lands.
I think you do it now once again on a turn where you're not under huge amounts of threat.
Yeah. Now the question is, do we attack? Because we're definitely going to lose this because they'll just double block. But I think that's okay.
Well, we get to kill the 2/2.
Yeah. And they're going to gain some life off the next turn anyway, so attack?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't think so. I think we just leave it there as a defender.
Because this one, the third one is they get X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies.
Okay,
so
might as well kill a zombie.
Yeah. If this,
I mean, they have to double block it with the zombie if they want to get any value.
Exactly.
Oh,
triple. Well, I guess we got the mana up.
Just grab both. Yeah, just grab.
We'll get the zombie off the battlefield. Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, and we'll go to the showdown. Hopefully we'll hit the land.
That was like best case scenario for us, I feel.
And there's the land. Let's go for another white source. This one. And next turn we get to Hollow Blade and make it big. Big, hasty, and tramply. Good combination. Oh, this is an interesting one. Tegrid's very good against sagas because when we have to sack our saga, they'll actually get it back with the Tegrid. But let's hopefully force them into a position where they're going to have to block. Right, so there's the Hellblade. Wants to auto tap our mana wrong. Alright, let's give them a chance.
Yeah, can you still get messed around by the auto tapper occasionally?
Definitely. Whew. Yep. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately it's not quite. But they're going to go for the block. Now, we have to discard a card. So whatever we discard, they're going to get.
Just give them plain.
Yeah. Let's give them land.
Oh.
Well, no.
Because they can use mana of any color to play it, can they?
No. They go straight into play.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just give them plain.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Runeforge is probably fine, but we want to cast it next turn. We definitely don't want to give them any of these because it draws some cards.
I still feel we are very far ahead.
Well, yeah, and this is the beauty of the Seal of Hallowblade, because unless they've got a way to exile it, like Extinction Event, their spot removal it destroys isn't going to get rid of it. We've got plenty of cards in hand to keep alive with.
The doggo's just zooming around again.
And
I think every time something goes in your favor, he does a bit of a zoom.
Yep, and it's only going to get bigger next turn, because the Showdown's going to keep putting +1/+1 counters on it.
And we can play the Rune of Sustenance and the Speed. Oi! He just sees our hand and disappears. All right.
Well, no, he doesn't, because we actually get to see what choose what to show him. Yeah, I guess what I think happened is that he chose wrong, because this allows him to return target creature and up to one target cleric, rogue, or warrior. I think he must have chosen the acquisition expert as the creature, because this is a cleric. Sorry, this is a rogue. So he could have actually got back both the Tegrid and the acquisitions expert, and I'm assuming that was just a misclick.
Okay.
As it was, we were still in a very strong position to have just trampled over the top next turn anyway.
That works.
Yep. All right. So time for one more?
Yeah, you got one more.
All right. Well, let's jump into the ranked queues.
Do a ranked game while we're at it.
Yeah.
Oh, Blood Sky Berserker. There we go.
All right. Standard ranked. Where's our Naya Auras?
You could even pick a card that you have a challenge to brew around for the next week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a couple of interesting decks I've been brewing. Some roguish stuff. Not rogues, though. They are
So if you guys would like to see anything in particular, feel free to put a comment in the Facebook post underneath here or the Twitter post, wherever we're posting this.
Yep.
If you want to see anything in particular, just let us know. And we're also, if you are in store at the Gamingverse, feel free to come up and show us your decks on, Friday Night Magic or something like that. If we see something particularly cool, we might feature it on here.
Yep. All right. I think this is a snap keep. we can Fabled Passage turn 1 because we don't have a dog. And into Luminarch, into Cetessan, into S'mores.
And the other guy's playing Yorion.
Yep, which means they're probably going to be slow, but have some control. So we'll wait and see. Depends what colors of Yorion. It might be Sultai. If it's Sultai, then we need to edge out this game very quickly. Hello? And we'll pass. Yeah, because you haven't seen the Emergent Ultimatum decks, have you?
No. I haven't seen almost anything in Standard. I know Kaldheim cards. That's about all I know so far.
Yep, looks like we're going up against Ultimatum. We'll see what spot removal they have available. Let's grab a white source for the moment. Oh, and there's a dog we would have liked turn 1. For the planes, gives us the most versatility with our mana. Hopefully they don't have the Heartless Act. It looks like they might.
Silence.
Yep, and there it is.
Does the other mode of Heartless Act ever come up?
Yeah, it actually does. Maybe not as much in Standard, but in Historic, Nissa creates turns your lands into 0/0s and puts 3+1/+1 counters onto it.
So you can
So
nuke the lands.
Heartless Act can actually still kill the lands.
And of course, it has a good swing at Planeswalkers too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Last thing, they're just trying to stall the game until they can get up into their
So do we have a red with the branch loft or not? No.
What was that?
We've
got the red over here.
Oh, so we showdown now, right?
Yeah, I think so, because we can always give the Selfless Savior haste next turn.
Yeah, and it gives us extra cards for it as well.
Yep. Or we can just give the Luminarch Aspirant haste.
The Luminarch just gives you +1 every turn?
Yeah. If at the beginning of your combat, you can +1/+1 tap counter target creature. Very nice. All right, so we're going to want a bit of white, I'm thinking. So let's put this on white. Selfless Savior, and that way they have the Heartless Act. Drop this.
Now we've got protection.
Let's drop the Rune of Speed. We need to start pressuring. Oh, and we get negated.
Is that some APAC lands from your opponent's hand?
I don't know if they're APAC.
The Euro lands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's just make ourselves a savior. That negate really got us. Yeah, our opponents had all the answers so far. But let's see, looks like we might not have any answers here.
Don't want to play the rock, no?
Well, no,
we can't. Cost 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our opponent's on 6. So if they go land ultimatum here, it's probably game over. So hopefully no ultimatum. No! A Desperation Yorion. Okay, we're in good position now.
Just a vanilla 4/5.
Yep. Okay. And Rune Forge. This is going to be quite good because it's going to allow us to...
We get the haste one now. Yeah.
Well, no, I was actually thinking...
Well, if we haste him, we can get 3 lethal damage.
No, but we can go trample. Oh, yeah, I guess we can go the haste.
Yep.
Yeah, alright.
So I think we just need to make...
Yeah.
We'll force him to block Luminarch, basically.
Yeah. We've also got the Rune of Sustenance, and this is going to get a lot bigger. Oh, yeah, except for... Should we go the Rune? That's probably not necessary. Let's just throw this down on this. And as you said...
Get a concession there, I feel.
Oh! That's actually perfect.
And the Rune as well. On the 3/3.
Yep, because then we can turn that into a 5/5. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't actually pump. Yep, and there you go. We got a bit lucky there. If they'd had the...
That was a little demoralizing for him, I feel. But you're in platinum rank too. So.
Yeah, platinum rank.
So we're not playing against bad people.
No,
so.
no. So they did pretty well with their removal. If they'd managed to hit the ultimatum, we would have died.
They only cast 3 cards that entire game. 4.
Four, yeah. But I mean, they were good. They had the removal, but this deck...
But I don't know what they had in hand. They've got all their colors.
Yeah, except for they probably do have an ultimatum.
They don't have 2...
Well, no, they don't have 7, because ultimatum's 7 mana.
What's the ultimatum do?
So I'll show you. So basically, Emergent Ultimatum...
Yeah, you've got a deck involving it, do you?
Yeah, I do.
That's right. Don't confuse it with the deck, but yeah, I'll...
Okay, we need to go through and do sideboard. So, Emergent Ultimatum. I'll just pull it up in here. So, Emergent Ultimatum. Search your library for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of those. You shuffle that one into your library. Then you may cast the other cards without paying their mana cost.
So, what would they search for?
So, basically, Valky. You can search for Valky because he's monocolored, but then you can cast Tybalt off the back. They would probably also have grabbed a board sweeper to deal with our entire board, and either the card that gives them an extra turn, or maybe even
another board sweeper,
or Voronclex is another possibility. Or they could have got 2 different board sweepers. So there's a few different things. They could have also grabbed the Blue Saga.
Which is the
turn blue on here. Kira Best the Sea God.
Yep.
Which gives them an instant 8/8 with hexproof, taps down all our stuff, and then they gain control of something.
It's mythic too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff that they can get. Look, it really depends on how their deck was built as to whether or not we were dead to an ultimatum or not. How many board sweepers they had.
But the thing is, even a board sweeper, I don't think would have saved them too much because we had the dog, so we could still save a massive ass.
No, because the thing is that a lot of their board sweepers are exile. So you got Extinction Event.
Yep.
Odd or even. Luckily, I think we had a little bit of a spread there. But then...
And there's...
Then you've also got Shadow's Verdict. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less. Now, pretty much, if they had this in their deck, we were in trouble because we could not let them resolve that.
And the odds are they'd have at least one.
Yeah, and whatever other 2 cards they chose, they were going to get to resolve, which is almost certainly going to be a Valky and something else that we don't want them to cast.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's definitely something we need to consider when it comes to sideboard. So when it comes to building a sideboard for this this deck,
what indestructible effects do we have? Is there some kind of like Boros Charm sort of like mass indestructible effect?
I'm not sure, but we already have enough indestructible effects, and like I said, it doesn't help us with exile. What does help us against that deck is Drannith Magistrate.
Opponent card cast spells from anywhere but their hands.
Yeah, it basically turns off their ultimatum because the cards are cast from exile. So some number of Drannith Magistrates is probably worth having against that matchup, because especially with the Selfless Savior, because with the Selfless Savior, we can actually protect the Drannith Magistrate. So I would say that...
Do they get cast?
Yeah, they cast.
So isn't Deafening Silence, which is right next to it, isn't that just as good?
Yeah, except that's symmetrical, whereas this one isn't symmetrical.
I guess the symmetrical really hurts us, but the thing is, we could vomit everything down the field, and then on turn 6 we could Deafening Silence.
Yeah, potentially. But the Drannith Magistrate, it shuts them off. We do have ways to protect it. It's a creature for us to enchant, so I think it's just a little bit better because it doesn't actually hurt us.
Sure, and I'm assuming you'd be looking at basics like Glass Casket.
Oh yeah, 100%. So let's just open the sideboard, and I have to drag. Okay, let's drag a couple of those into the sideboard. Yeah, Glass Casket. Look, if we're playing against an aggressive deck and we need some removal, some number of Glass Caskets I think are good.
So you don't think that Deafening Silence, even if we are against a strong, like some kind of controlling combo deck, we can just go slowly?
Well, here's another little trick. So this is another trick against the Sultai Ultimatum deck, is Roiling Vortex. So this is not bad against control decks because it does each player 1 damage every turn. So it's an inevitable clock, and if we can put pressure on them, get their life below ours, they'll die before us.
And Roiling Vortex will deal them 10 damage when they cast the ultimatum.
Yeah, it makes ultimatum cost 10 damage.
We can stop that gingerbread deck.
Yep.
With the red thing.
No
as well.
life gain either. So a couple of A couple of rolling vortexes, a couple of Dranith magistrates
Mhm.
probably do the job for us. Yeah. So then against a deck with a lot of removal, maybe a third Storm Herald. What do you think?
I really, really like Storm Herald. I think it's fantastic. And
Oops.
I think against anything that's going to be board wiping you,
Yeah.
I feel that the ability to just top deck a Storm Herald and just kill him, I think is fine. Like, I feel like a pair of those in the board is probably a good idea as
You
well.
reckon go up to 4?
I just feel that, like, if any control deck tries to grind you out, you can just do really well with that.
Yeah. No, I definitely can definitely see that.
You can refill your hand back up and...
Yeah, early on, you dump your runes, they kill your stuff, your deck's your graveyard's full of runes.
Do they get a chance to, when the Storm Herald comes into play, kill the Storm Herald so you don't draw the cards?
Yes. So,
but you can target your lands if you're worried about that, right?
Yeah.
You'd actually get a chance to do that because you play Storm Herald. They'd wait for you to target the runes.
Yep.
Then
they can't wait for you to target the runes because as soon as the ability resolves, the runes enter the battlefield and automatically attach.
Okay, so basically, if the Storm Herald gets killed in response,
yep,
you just put all your runes on your lands.
Or you can put it on another creature because it doesn't attach to Storm Herald.
So they can't stop you from drawing cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'd put 4 of those in there.
Yeah, right. So we'll go up to 4. So we've still got 6 spaces. Now, a deck that we didn't actually get to see much of, but is doing the rounds a bit, is Mono White. So, look, if we're worried about Mono White, Archon of Absolution is a great little bit of sideboard tech against them. Protection from White, it's a 3/2 flyer, and it makes it harder for them to attack.
Like they have to actually spend their mana.
They have to spend their mana, and the protection from White against Mono White is just devastating for them. You're actually seeing a lot of Mono White decks splashing red, so they've actually got ways to deal with this.
So a pair of those, or 3. One day you'll remember the dragon. I think if you right click them, they go to the sideboard, right?
Maybe. No, just opens them up there.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
The thing is, if we were in the other view, if we're in this view, we could just click them straight into the sideboard because the sideboard's open. But this view's a bit nicer. All right. Yeah. So look, another thing that we might want is some artifact enchantment removal, and Masked Vandal's pretty good for that. So let's just have a look. So we've got. It's dependent on how many creatures we have. So at the moment, we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So 20 creatures, that's okay. As it does need one in the graveyard in order for it to do its thing. But it is an exile effect, so it can get rid of gods who are indestructible. And it's a potential 2-for-1 because it's destroying your opponent's enchantment graveyard.
It's a very complicated card for a common.
Yeah, and it's quite powerful. Yeah, because it's also a 2-mana 1/3, which
I think a pair of those are fine.
Yeah. Yep, as you said, I'm going to remember this one of these days. All right. And, okay, so we've got 2 spots left.
I guess this is where you get a little bit spicy, right?
Yeah, and if you want a nice little spicy...
Do you want something against control that's maybe like a hexproof or something that you can just literally drop and...
Potentially, yeah. Look, we'll have a look what there is. A Crone Wall's one possibility. This is against other aggro decks again. Gaining control of their best creature. You get to attack with it. It forces them to attack, leaving them open for a counterattack. Now, it is a bit more expensive. It's just whether or not, we want to be spending 4 mana on this or something else. Yeah, but look, let's have a look. I don't know if there's a lot of hexproof in standard at the moment. Let's just... Oh, actually... Snakeskin Veil could be a good option.
Yeah. I think Snakeskin Veil, I know that card. I know I've seen people think, Heroic Intervention
as well. Yeah.
Wow, okay, so no, Heroic Intervention was actually the card I was thinking of before.
Yep.
Because that is... Basically, that's the negate. You just treat that as negate. So I think a pair of those is amazing.
Yep. Now, I guess the question is, are we going to go wide enough for this to be better than this? Because this does leave a +1/+1 counter.
It depends on what board wipes are like the blue-white control decks playing.
They're playing Doomscar, which is destroy all creatures.
Okay, so Indestructible is good.
Yeah, we do have a bit of Indestructible, but I guess more's always good.
But the thing is, you'll be in those situations where if they cast Doomscar and the new Heroic Convention, you just win the game on the spot.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I really like that.
Oh.
And that's a great reprint too. I didn't actually know that was around.
Yeah, so. Heroic. It's not seeing a lot of play.
I really like the card. I think it's great. And literally, if you just pretend it says the word negate on it.
Yeah, as it does negate a lot of things. because it does have both the hexproof and the indestructible.
Mm.
Yeah, gets around a few different cards. All right, so I guess that's our sideboard. We've got a few different options here. Look, against something like mono red, I actually think we're in reasonably good shape. There's not. We probably just bring in the glass caskets for their this can deal with their creatures. Against mono white, we have the Archon, which is devastating against them. Against the ultimatum decks, got the Rolling Vortex and the Drannith Magistrate. Against rogues, we've just got to be aggressive. Really, rogues, the way you beat them is just to get underneath them, and we've got a lot of low drops. Like if we drop the Seasoned Hallowblade, that's quite good. A lot of them don't run Brazen Borrower. The Seasoned Hellblade can win you the game. Yeah.
I guess. Well, I thought this would be a bit of fun. At the end of every session, I'll get you to name the deck something other than Naya Auras.
What
would you
I
call
like
this?
practical names.
Yeah, well, I know you don't like practical names. That's why I think it's fun to put you on the spot and make you name this something else. What else would you name this?
All right.
Say that you just won a pro tour
Yep.
with this pile of cards.
Yep.
And they're like, and Rich Hagen's like, now what would you name this deck? That's my Rich Hagen impression.
All right. Well, let's see. What are we trying to do here?
Trying to make him be creative.
Yep. All right. We'll call it. All right. So we're going vertical a lot of the time.
Okay.
So let's call it Tower of Power.
The Tower of Power.
The Tower of Power.
This is how many cards you can fit on each other. So
yeah, exactly.
If you put like 6 of them, maybe you can reach 1 millimeter thickness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're slamming auras on top. We're slamming +1/+1 counters. We're just building that up.
Is 1 millimeter a tower?
It is in Magic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it is.
All right. So does that mean you have to change it?
Yeah. You have to change the name of the game. This is now called Tower of Power. we can change that later. That's fine. We'll use that as the episode title. So
yeah.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add on this?
No, I think that about does it. Look, unfortunately, we didn't get to play against any of the adventure decks, which are quite popular at the moment. With those, it's really just a race. They've got a lot of card advantage. We've got card advantage. Unfortunately, their adventure creatures tend to be a little bit better than ours. But as you saw, this deck can generate a lot of card advantage. You can put a lot of power on the battlefield really quickly. And I think there's something to it.
Okay, guys. Well, if you want to play your own version of Tower of Power or whatever else you brew, we do F&M on Thursday nights. That's Thursday Night Magic.
Thursday night.
Phenomenon.
Wait, is it Thursday Night Magic or is it Friday Night Magic?
It's Thursday and Friday night. I don't know. It's something like that. But we do standard on Thursday nights. I can't even say the word. Standard on Thursday nights from 7 p.m. And we also do draft on Friday night from 7 p.m. So if you want to play some Magic, we've also got Commander on Thursday nights. We've got Modern on Thursday nights. Basically, the end of the week is all Magic at the Gaming Verse. You'll see me around the store. You'll see Justin around the store. So in the meantime, we totally need to come up with some kind of like goodbye catchphrase. But toodaloo.
Yes, that'll do.
That'll do.
All right.
Thanks, guys.